The shores of San Diego are a long way, maybe a world away from North Texas. To embrace their new world is exactly why 3 Texans are here. Roy Martin from Dallas lost his right foot in an industrial accident. Fort Worth's Jennifer Teague Clark lost her left leg to a benign tumor. And Caitlin Connor of Chapel Hill, a leg to a motorcycle crash and a distracted driver. They met at the Fort Worth company that makes their new legs and decided together to put their hardware and heart to a test.
There's our runners. Doug, lead them in there, baby. Let's get our runners, yeah.
A team triathlon that challenged Athletes Foundation in San Diego. Hundreds of people just like them taking one very big next step.
And it's just a fun weekend to be here. We're in our own element, where everybody's like us, and body parts are laying everywhere, and it's okay.
Jennifer would be first, a 1-mile ocean swim. Roy would be next, a 10-mile run.
Stay real.
And then Caitlin, the novice cyclist, would try 44 grueling miles.
Release the doves!
Even though her training so far...
3 miles?
How many?
3 miles?
3 miles?
3 miles? I was not an athlete before this at all. Talking about band girl over here.
But why, after so much trauma, so much pain, sign up for so much more?
And just to know I can do something that people think that I couldn't, you know.
But once I pass that finish line, I can look at myself in the mirror and say, I did this. I did this. I went the full distance, and I didn't do it for anybody, but to prove to myself that I could do it. Because I will learn how much heart I have. I've already got enough heart to get here, so I know I have enough heart to get through that line.
Highly recommended. It's the most powerful weekend. Life-changing.
But even if the race wasn't life-changing, this definitely was.
Oh, man.
Children at a running clinic, showing the adults what it means to chase your dreams.
And then watching these kids this weekend, man, it just touches my heart.
I don't know if I can keep up with you. You're fast.
Learning that a leg or an arm doesn't define you, that heart is all that matters, that life is not a race.
What I get from them, man, is, enjoy life.
A life where technology and toughness make a bright future possible. A future worth chasing with everything you have and everything you don't.
It's not even just seeing people that have gone through what I've gone through. It's seeing kids, these little kids running around and just having a blast, doing something nobody would imagine them doing. It's amazing.
So Jennifer took her ocean swim. Roy pounded out those 10 miles, and Caitlin spent 5 hours on that bike, each of them crossing their own finish line, not out to prove anything to anyone other than just themselves.
Great job, guys. Welcome to your finish line.
No walking, man.
None?
No walking at all.
The whole way?
God on the truth. No walking.
And as Caitlin crossed her finish line, she was in tears. Not from the pain, but from realizing she'd passed her own difficult test.
That's Caitlin Connor, Chapel Hill. Look up, Caitlin. You are awesome. Well done.
I faced my fear. Fear of falling. I fell and I got back up. Fell twice, got back up each time. Faced my fear of being on a bike in traffic and cars zooming by, and we almost got hit by a bus. Faced it. Overcame.
And that's what they found in San Diego, more proof that they can overcome. That no matter how many feet you might have, that your horizon is waiting for you to take the next step. In La Jolla, in San Diego County, Kevin Reece, Channel 8 News. When you drive into Fremont, Texas, population just 2,700, the scars are easy to see. The theater, the stores, the abandoned buildings have clearly seen much better days. And at the home of the Fremont High School Cowboys, the future wasn't looking all that bright either.
5 years ago, many had lost faith.
Lost faith because school finances were a mess, test scores a problem too, and the state threatening to shut the school district of just 500 students down. unless the superintendent at the time
Football is sacred in Texas.
acted on his most unpopular idea.
It was probably one of the hardest administrative decisions I've ever made.
He's the superintendent who killed high school football, taking the sport's $150,000 budget and paying for teachers, supplies, and technology instead.
It's shameful, I guess you could say.
But it came at another cost.
It's like the community just fell down. There wasn't that much pride in our school anymore.
It was sad. Everybody was kind of like depressed.
Pride in a 100-year-old school district, much like its aging buildings, began crumbling too.
It just kind of felt like everybody was a zombie, like we were just missing somebody, missing something in the school.
The home of the Fremont Cowboys is already decades old and clearly showing its age, and for the last 5 years, it's sat vacant, cracked, crumbling, and surrounded by caution tape in places. But the folks here in Fremont decided that 5 years of silence had been enough.
Hey, let's go! 8, 9, who else are we missing?
The football Hail Mary actually worked.
2 minutes.
Finances got better, test scores were getting better too. The state backed off its threat to shut Fremont down. So the town rallied, raised enough money for new uniforms, helmets, and gear. And now, 5 years later, the Fremont Cowboys are back. Along with that lost little bit of faith.
We come together in adversity. We are going to prove that in adversity, we stand together and we get the job done.
It's kind of like a family reunion. Everybody just seems more like a family now, the whole town.
Are you ready for Thursday?
Because this time football is also
Confident?
proving good bait.
Emery, where do you belong, Emery?
An hour of tutoring each day mandatory for each athlete, passing grades mandatory before they can hit the field.
Heckle, get in the classroom, Heckle, let's go. Oh, yes, sir, I guarantee it's going to have the right impact.
Most small communities rally around football. You know, that's what brings the community together, and it's working. I mean, the kids are coming to school, the kids are in tutoring, the kids are doing real well, and that's all we can ask.
Kids are actually wanting to come to school. They want to be here. They want to make good grades. They want to play.
Everybody loves it. Finally have something to be happy for.
It's inspiring, really, because we come from a small town, but we have big dreams.
Let's go.
Big dreams tested Thursday night.
Go lay it on somebody, let's go.
The first year back as a JV team only, and they traveled an hour to a much richer school district, complete with a modern stadium and artificial turf.
Hey, remember where you're at.
But in the middle of the comeback, a problem. The newest superintendent busted, arrested for possession of marijuana. He is not the superintendent anymore. So who did they call to replace him?
Let's go.
The man who stopped football in the first place.
It's odd for me because I'm the one that took it away.
There it is, there it is, there it is.
But in a team that quickly fell behind 14-0 and then began to rally in the closing seconds, he sees a bit of hope.
In a way, a real hard decision turned out to be the right decision.
A decision that saved a school district, even if on this night the reborn Cowboys came up just a few yards short. They lost.
You have to control your emotions, all right? It's okay. It sucks to lose when you're right there. That was the best effort I've seen in 7 years coaching.
But maybe there's a lesson in that too, in a struggle.
I understand it hurts, all right? That's football. That's life.
That's just getting started.
While we might not see a bright, bright light, we do see a light at the end of the tunnel.
Amen.
But bright or dim, those lights are a 5-year answer to prayer, and in Fremont at least, have the chance to shine again. In Fremont in South Texas, Kevin Reece, Channel 8 News. A college campus is, by its very nature, a pretty noisy place. Texas A&M and College Station
Down, up,
is
down,
certainly no different.
down, up.
So if you're a student like Caitlin Kellermeyer, all this static
Down,
must be maddening.
Well, it's actually helpful to me.
Helpful because she lost her sight to a genetic disorder. Her entire life she knew it was coming.
I started noticing I was losing visual field.
kind of from the bottom up at first and then from the left side over. It kind of looked like it was filling up with ginger ale, almost.
The final surgery to try saving her sight happened her freshman year.
And that ended up just completely blinding me. And I still have a hard time with it. You know, just still adjusting to not being able to see.
This economics major minoring in French has managed in the few years since by learning how the Aggie campus sounds. But then at the camp where she got her guide dog Lunar, she learned all this noise might be helped by just a few chords more.
And I just thought that was such a cool idea.
A wind chime or two telling her which way to go.
Like, this campus is huge and it's wide open, there are people everywhere, and there's not actually a lot of sound clues within the body of the campus itself.
We really worked with the administration to make sure that we had the best plan possible.
So her friends Joseph Hood and Levi McClinney in student government decided to help make it happen. Months of proposals and meetings ended with wind chimes in trees all over campus. In front of the academic building, the quad in front of the library, a live oak at the liberal arts building, 10 in all, helping tell Caitlin where she is and where she's going.
But oh my gosh, they're so helpful. It's almost like ping-ponging between the sounds, in a way. And I hear it, and I know exactly which building that is, exactly which way I'm facing, and exactly which way I need to go. So the wind chimes have been awesome for that. Almost every time I need them, I can hear them.
The idea that we can create an inclusive environment at Texas A&M for students with disabilities was something that I really got excited about.
I could point to that one thing and say, well, that's something that I did in student government that actually made a difference in people's lives.
A difference for Caitlin and several other visually impaired students, a wind chime system they hope to eventually make even bigger, guiding their way and also opening a few doors.
To a conversation about disabilities in general, about people's differences, and about how we can help each other in simple ways. And that's been really refreshing to me. It's been really cool.
Cool that a simple idea and a few simple sounds can help someone keep hearing and chasing their future.